You're looking at drone footage of the moment when Florida's Juan Verde was attacked by an unseen force underwater.
I felt the equivalent of a telephone pole hit my face.
After the initial strike, he felt an incredible force crushing down on his head and chest. Razor-sharp teeth dug into his flesh. As he desperately tried to swim away, his hand brushed against the scales of his attacker, and he immediately realized what he was dealing with. A massive 4-meter alligator had him locked in his jaws, ready to perform its most lethal attack, the death roll. Juan Carlos hung on for dear life as the beast spun him under the water, trying to rip him apart. In a last desperate attempt, he jammed his arm into the gator's throat, broke free, and beelined back toward the shore with the beast right on his tail.
That thing was huge. It wasn't a little gator.
That alligator's tail by itself probably weighed as much as I weigh.
But what got him into this situation in the first place? What safety precautions did he ignore before entering these waters? And why are attacks like this becoming more and more common in Florida? For the answer to this and more survival questions, hit the like and subscribe buttons now. Juan Carlos is not the only unlucky soul to have recently crossed paths with a gator in Florida's swamps. Violent encounters between these ruthless reptiles and humans have become increasingly common in recent years. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission estimates that the state's wetlands are crowded with more than 1.3 million alligators, just waiting to get their jaws on you. But don't panic, because you might have a chance against them. Today, we'll show you how some people have managed to escape their deadly jaws and even fight them off. But most importantly, we'll show you how to avoid being attacked in the first place. Now let's get back to the star of our story, Juan Carlos Verde, or JC Defeats, as he likes to be called. That morning in August of 2022, JC, a United States Air Force vet, firefighter, and passionate triathlete, was filming a video to hype up a race his adventure company was putting on. Despite his experience, he had forgotten his swimming goggles and cap. However, he was determined to get on with the shoot. Little did he know, danger was lurking just meters ahead. Minutes after he started swimming, a massive force crashed into his head.
I hit a telephone pole with my head that had teeth. It felt that way.
He was still in shock when he felt sharp teeth sinking into his body.
All I felt was scales, teeth, and then right there I'm like, oh.
He was being attacked by a massive gator. He grabbed onto its snout and started pulling for dear life. The alligator loosened its grip on JC's torso for a second, but then latched onto his skull as he tried to swim away. JC could practically feel his bones creaking between the monster's jaws. After a few seconds that felt more like a few hours, JC managed to pry open its jaws and swim to shore, bleeding profusely from the head. Fortunately, a good Samaritan was there and rushed him to hospital, where, after a 6-hour operation, doctors saved his life. They had to remove one of the flaps of his skull due to inflammation of his brain, but he's recovering and is almost ready to resume his athletic and daring lifestyle. Now, for 13-year-old Gabriel Klimas, things happened even more suddenly. He had just jumped into the water from a rope swing when he felt razor-sharp alligator teeth chomping down on his leg. Instinctively, he started punching the beast. He kept fighting until the gator let go of him and he could swim back to safety. Surprisingly, despite having the scare of his life, Gabriel came out of it walking, and in one piece. Unfortunately for Eric Murda, things didn't go as smoothly. Eric was exploring the shores of Lake Manatee, Florida, when he realized he was lost. He decided to swim across the lake to find his car, totally unaware that there was a hungry gator lurking beneath the surface. As he started swimming, the alligator grabbed his arm and started pulling him down. Running out of air, he considered letting everything go and just letting the animal kill him. He decided to live. Eric fought back until the gator began its infamous death twist, tore off his arm, and swam away. But free from the beast's jaws, he got out of the lake, badly injured and clueless of where he was. He wandered through the gator-infested swamp for 3 agonizing days, his arm stump bleeding and exposed to all sorts of infections. Finally, Eric managed to get help and survived this horrific ordeal. But one question remains. Why are these gator attacks becoming more and more frequent? Is the alligator population in Florida increasing? Are people becoming more reckless? Well, according to Frank Rod from Florida's Environmental Education Awareness Research Support and Services, this may be a result of Florida's rapid development. The more people that settle there, the more they come in contact with these creatures that rely on the wetlands to survive. Alligator mating season from April to June also makes it easier for humans to stumble across these massive beasts, as adult alligators expel the younger ones from the swamps to reduce competition for females. Young gators are forced to find new homes, which can lead them toward residential areas and even houses. So if you're near Florida's wetlands, be careful. Check the water before swimming. Avoid bushy areas and keep your pets on a leash. Gators may be lurking nearby and they won't think twice about snacking on anything that moves. Unfortunately, the wetlands aren't the only dangerous waters in the United States, as this man found out while spearfishing in Hawaii. Want to know how he survived being hunted by a tiger shark? Well, that's why we compiled the 5 most terrifying shark encounters caught on video. Here on How to Survive.